The Paul is Dead controversy. On a cold October night back in 1969, when Detroit was still a city famous for its bustling music industry, a radio DJ answered a mysterious phone call on air that would spark one of music's biggest and strangest conspiracies. Russ Gibb was working a regular shift, hosting a show on the radio station WKNR, when a caller told him to grab the Beatles' White Album and spin the intro from Revolution 9 backwards. Gibb played it live on air, and listeners were shocked to hear, "Turn me on, dead man."
Turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man. Turn me on.
After the broadcast, fans began to point out more disturbing lyrics. At the end of Strawberry Fields Forever, John seems to say, "I buried Paul." Thus began the Paul is Dead controversy that swept the world. Did people actually believe Paul was dead? What other evidence did sleuths uncover? Could there be more to this story than meets the eye? Fans immediately began spreading rumors that Paul McCartney was actually dead. They speculated that he died 3 years prior in a car accident, and the band replaced him with a look-alike. People all around the globe began listening to their albums and searching through art and news clippings for proof. Just 2 days after the broadcast, the news outlet Michigan Daily published a piece explaining that there was more proof on the cover of Abbey Road. They believed the art was symbolizing a funeral procession with John, the preacher, in white, Ringo, the Undertaker, in black, Paul's lookalike, or an old photo of him serving as the corpse, and George as the gravedigger wearing blue denim. The story was set, supposedly, on November 8, 1966. Paul left the Abbey Road recording studio late at night on a stupid bloody Tuesday. As he rode home on the morning of November 9th, Paul blew his mind out in a car, and Paul was then officially pronounced dead, or OPD, at 5 o'clock. They then covered it up by either paying off the first responders or the news agencies, and the Wednesday morning papers didn't come. From this interpretation, the lines "Stupid Bloody Tuesday" were featured in the surreal song "I Am the Walrus" and referred to the last day the band saw Paul alive. The line "He blew his mind out in a car" came from their song "A Day in the Life." And the time and OPD refers to George pointing to the 5 o'clock position on Sgt. Pepper's sleeve, while Paul wears an OPD patch. The line about hushing up the news on Wednesday morning papers comes from Lady Madonna. So, this was all the evidence fans needed to drum up a conspiracy that Paul was dead and replaced with a body double. More clues began to emerge. Abbey Road had more hidden messages, with Paul walking barefoot and out of step with the others, holding a cigarette in his right hand. Dead men don't need shoes, right? And why would he be out of step with the others? Surely cigarettes represent death because of cancer-causing agents. And also the cigarette is in his right hand, but Paul was left-handed. The license plate on the Volkswagen pictured on the album reads 28IF, which is how old Paul would have been if he were still alive at the time. The snowball kept rolling with fans unquestionably believing that the word walrus was Greek for the word corpse, even though that's not even close. More speculation went back to "I am the walrus" with the lines "goo goo gajoo." What could this nonsense mean? Well, of course it was what Humpty Dumpty says right before falling off the wall to his death in James Joyce's Finnegan's Wake, a surreal novel written in almost entirely idiosyncratic language, making it a nightmare to translate and read. The same song also ends with the live BBC broadcast of the scene from Shakespeare's King Lear, where Oswald dies and says, "Oh, untimely death." Fans also pointed to Glass Onion, where John sings, "Here's another clue for you all. The walrus was Paul." To make matters worse, when the rumors were blowing up, Paul was tucked away in seclusion on his farm in Scotland with Linda, Heather, and their newborn daughter Mary. While Paul was very much alive, he was tending to his first child, and he was in no mood to spend time reassuring frenzied fans. He told Rolling Stone, "Leave it, just let them say it. It'll probably be the best publicity we've ever had, and I won't have to do a thing except stay alive." So I managed to stay alive through it. So, the major press let fans keep on thinking he was dead. John Lennon wasn't too happy about the press, though. He called up the WKNR radio station in Detroit and told them, "It's the most stupid rumor I've ever heard. It sounds like the same guy who blew up my Christ remark." His anger only fanned the flames, though. He added more fuel to the fire by denying that there were any coded messages in their music. Lennon said he never played his music backwards, And when asked about his role about the preacher on Abbey Road, he said, "They said I was wearing a white religious suit. I mean, did Humphrey Bogart wear a white religious suit? All I've got is a nice Humphrey Bogart suit." John's anger is understandable, considering he was releasing his wedding album with wife Yoko Ono and releasing his solo single, Cold Turkey, which was the first time he didn't credit McCartney on a song. It was supposed to be his time in the spotlight, but Paul was soaking up the attention without doing anything at all. It didn't stop there. An attorney, F. Lee Bailey, even hosted a TV investigation where he cross-examined witnesses. The Beatles later explained some of the lyrics in question. The line "In a Day in the Life" actually refers to the death of Tara Brown, former heir to Guinness, who died in a car accident on December of 1966. "I Am the Walrus" was revealed to be a song with lyrics that were intentionally difficult to pin down or analyze. The Beatles rolled with this strange fan-generated phenomenon and made it part of their lore. In a hilarious interview in 1974, Paul told Rolling Stone, "Someone from the office rang me up and said, 'Look, Paul, you're dead.' And I said, 'Oh, I don't agree with that,' just casually rolling with the punches." As the band continued to release music, people kept trying to see chinks in the armor, asking questions like, "Were Paul's ears always like that?" However, even as it became obvious that the story wasn't true, fans still kept perpetuating it. The Paul is dead controversy ironically took on a life of its own, sitting along the likes of other music folklore like Tupac is still alive, or there's 12 different Avril Lavignes. Paul's been a good sport over the years. He even released an album referencing the whole debacle titled Paul is Alive. The whole thing really speaks to the power of viral media, and it's definitely an interesting piece of music history. What are your thoughts on the Paul is dead conspiracy? Have you uncovered any strange messages in your favorite music? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked the video, be sure to click the like button and subscribe for more music entertainment.